I'm Larry Coressel, and this is Arts Focus. The Dayton area composer Steven Winteregg was commissioned to write a new piece of music to be performed by the Dayton Philharmonic in the early part of the 2025-26 season.
It's called Dante's Journey, and it's based on Dante's Divine Comedy, which is really 3 books: the Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. And the way it started is I met with Neil for lunch, and because he was retiring, I wanted to write a piece for him, and I thought it would be like an overture or something, and he said, that would be a great idea, but I want you to write a concerto for orchestra. So that's a little bit bigger project. So I told him about the Divine Comedy, and he liked the idea. So I based it on 3 movements for the 3 books, and that's how the piece came about.
How does it compare to your other compositions in style?
I think this is a little bit more edgier, especially in Inferno. I had people come up to me that said, actually, the Inferno, which is hell, kind of scared them. And I think, on the other hand, Paradiso was such a contrast, and I used a different style than I've ever used before, because how do you define heaven musically? So I had to come up with something that sounded completely in contrast to hell.
How long is this piece altogether, all 3 parts?
About 33 minutes.
So it is truly a Bartók-sized concerto for orchestra.
Yes, it is, because when I got ready to write it, I listened about 23, 24 concertos for orchestra to see how people handled things. Some things I said, I'm not going to do it that way. Some things I thought were good ideas. But I also wanted to explore a lot of different sounds in this thing, too, because you're talking about some ideas that are completely out of the norm.
You talked about the outer movements. What about the middle?
The middle one is Purgatorio. Since Dante wrote this around 1300, it's kind of medieval science, medieval theology, and of course they thought that if you weren't quite good enough to get in heaven, you had to go through purgatory. So purgatory in his story is a mountain that you're climbing. And the different levels, you might be closer to paradise or further away from paradise, but you had to climb up this mountain. So that one probably has more of a traditional form, a rondo form, because there's always this kind of climbing theme as you get to a next level.
What are some of your other recent compositions?
I'm having another premiere at Cedarville University, a piece I wrote for my wife who passed away. And I called A Suite for Candy, and it's based on when I was clearing things out, I found a piece that I wrote for her when I was dating. I turned it into an orchestra piece. Now there's 3 movements to it.
What else are you working on right now?
Well, probably the most recent one, which may be kind of odd, I did a couple pieces for a group called Tuba. And there's 5 tuba players who are tuba players with major orchestras. And so I wrote a couple pieces for them, and they recorded it. It's on the Summit label. I've been working on some vocal pieces on the side, some solo pieces. Sometimes I do that just to kind of clear my head before I work on a big piece, because to work on big pieces all the time, well, like Dante's Journey, took about a year and a half to do. So sometimes I like to take maybe a month or 2 months and work on something small, a piano piece, or maybe a solo piece for voice and piano, something like that.
Something a little smaller scale, so it doesn't completely take the wind out of you.
Yes, and I'll probably do a similar thing every year. I do a Christmas carol that I post. That'll probably be my next project, and then I'll probably work on this next commission.
Get more details about the work of area composer Steven Winteregg by visiting his website, stevenwinteregg.com. I'm Larry Coressel. Arts Focus is a production of Dayton's listener-supported Discover Classical.